Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm here with Nikita Russo, a really popular Pulsechain guy, a really popular hexakin. I'm actually excited to have this interview with him, and let me allow him to introduce himself.
Hey guys, I'm Nikita Rusu, and I'm going to be a future crypto millionaire using the Pulsechain ecosystem. So yeah, I'm excited to be here.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah. So pretty much the same thing. All of us, we feel like we're going to be millionaires, but it's very difficult to talk about it when you're poor as hell right now. You can only see the vision, right? But you
hmm
believe it. You have to believe in yourself. So to start off, where are you from? And I'm guessing you're from Canada. I don't know where exactly you are from Canada, but
Yeah, I live in Canada.
you
I
like
live
it?
in Canada. Yeah, I live in Canada right now. I was born in Moldova, but my parents moved to Canada.
Okay.
And yeah, now I live in Canada for been living in Canada for like 12 years now. Yeah.
Okay, nice. So you were in Moldova for until like I guess 10 years old or something like that, 8 years old.
I think like six, four, six, I think. I think six.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so how did you get into cryptocurrency and Bitcoin and Hex and all the cryptos?
Well, I got in somewhere around. So we had like the top at like Bitcoin was 65K, and then
Mhm.
we had this little crash down to 30K. I got in basically right before the pump up to 69K. Basically because how I got into it. I started working for my dad, and he talked about like there's this one guy, it's a moving company. So I went to work with my dad just to make some money. I worked there for like a month. I quit after. It's hard, moving is hard. And so he mentioned me a guy about like some guy that just he was buying shit coins and that got me like, oh, he made like a 5x a 3x on his money.
Mhm.
And basically got into crypto like that. I remember like opening up a Coinbase. I was buying like everything, like internet computer, like every coin, just
Mhm.
and I was deciding the coins that I want to buy by if they look cool. So I bought like Aave internet computer, it sounded cool. And yeah, and then um I got into the crypto mindset course by Charlie Miguel, all cost crypto, you know him?
Yeah, I know dollar cost crypto. Yeah.
Yeah, so I got into their
Probably
course.
Milgo with his real name.
Yeah, Charlie is cultivate crypto and Miguel is dollar cost crypto.
Okay.
And that's how I found out about Hex. I bought their course. I think it's the 2021 Q4 course. Yeah, I believe so. And they introduced me into Hex and Richard Hart. That's how I found out about Hex at the first place. I was buying around like 34 cents, 40 cents. Uh, and then yeah, went down a little bit. I remember I was down like 80% one
Mhm.
time because it's gonna start crashing. And then I all cost averaged in, so I made some profit from Hex, and I sacrificed like 4 grand, 5 grand, well 4 grand into PulseX,
Mhm.
and then I got into liquid loans after it came out, the sacrifice, and I put the rest of my money in there.
Okay,
So yeah,
cool.
that's yeah.
Yeah, me myself, I started into crypto like the end of 2017. So I started at like when crypto was at 19,000, 20,000. That's when I
Mm,
got into it. And then I
it
lost
crashed.
it crashed
Yeah.
immediately as soon as I got in there. I was like, this is a scam. And I started researching it more and I was like, oh, this is actually not a scam. This is probably going to change the world forever. So ever since then, I've been heavily into crypto since then.
Yeah. The two things I find most valuable about crypto is first the mad gains,
Mhm.
but second is actually like controlling your money. Like I can move anywhere and it's online. So I can like move literally anywhere. Like previously how I started to like how I thought about like starting my wealth up is like real estate,
Mhm.
and it's you're tied to it. Um, Not a lot of mad gains in real estate, and but you're mostly importantly like tied down, and the government can take your shit too.
Mhm.
But in crypto, you have the mad gains, and you can move away. For example, I'm gonna be like moving to like Georgia in
Mhm.
the year of 2023. I made a video about it, and yeah, so I can take my crypto there. I heard there's like 0% tax on crypto in Georgia.
Yeah.
There's some cool tax schemes you can do, like pay only 1% from like if you do like freelancing or any like income from online. So
Mhm.
yeah, I love crypto because of those two things. Just
Yeah.
owning
Same
your
here.
money. Yeah.
Yeah, same here. I started in real estate myself too. I was doing like different real estate stuff, and I started getting into Airbnb arbitrage. So I had like
Mm.
two Airbnbs, three Airbnbs, And it was fun. It was a lot of work, and I was actually making money, right? So I was making a lot of
Yeah.
money. But then Corona came and just destroyed the whole hotel business.
Mm.
And so Airbnb's business. So I went from making like $5,000 profit a month to like negative $1,000 a month in 1 month.
Yeah.
So it was crazy. So I was like, this is trash. I hate it. So that was almost the same time that I got back into crypto too myself. So
Yeah.
and then like the good thing about I live in Washington D.C. But even
Mm.
if DC's rules are too difficult, I can move to like a different state, like maybe Florida or Texas. They tend to have better tax
Mm.
laws. You say you were moving to Georgia in Europe, right? So
Yeah. In Europe.
so you can have like better tax laws there too. So
Yeah.
yeah. All right. Next question. What made you want to start a YouTube channel?
Well, initially, if you like go to my oldest videos, I talked about like I basically wanted to share my programming. I talk about like superior programming, inferior programming.
Mhm.
And notice is just a set of principles, values. Basically, I just wanted to share my principles and values because the way I view life, it's very easy for me. I just don't complicate shit in my life. And because people like to overcomplicate their life
Mhm.
and they like to, I don't know what's the wordage, but they make excuses for making their life hard.
Yeah.
And I basically just wanted to spread my superior programming on YouTube. I got kind of inspired by like Hamza, if you know him.
Yeah, I know him. He's on YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I thought, oh, he's sharing his programming, and that's actually what like inspired to make my YouTube channel was Hamza, because I saw him like talking about like some of his programming, like oh, can't really pinpoint, but I just like the fact like how he talked about his mindsets. So I just started like kind of like copying him, and then made my own little shtick.
Mhm. Okay,
And then
cool.
I made a video. Pulsechain is going to make us millionaires, and it had like 3K views, and I was like, oh my god, because I was getting like 20 views, 50 views, and I was like, oh, this is working. So I'm gonna start making crypto content.
Yeah, literally same here.
Yeah,
My highest rated views, that's like the highest viewed video that I have is definitely Pulsechain, and then the second one
yeah,
is X, and then the third one
yeah,
is like PulseX. So they're all Richard Hodge stuff like shoots up.
yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of which, I see that you're into self improvement and self growth and all that stuff. Like, what made you want to get into that to become like a better man? I guess.
Well, initially, how I got into like self improvement, like red pill.
Hmm.
I'm not like a red pill dork. Like there's
Yeah, I know
you
what you
can
mean.
like yeah, like
They call it red pill rage, right? When all you do is red pill, red root, and you
yeah,
don't talk to real people.
yeah. There's like dummies in that system.
Yeah.
You just have to like go from that. But basically, I got red pilled. Like first, I was like 16. I
Hmm.
turned 16. Like it was like I remember it was like August, and it was actually my first ever video that I made about how I got red pilled. And basically, I was 16. Just recently turned like a month from now. July, August. Yeah. So basically, I was 16,
Hmm.
and I remember like I wanted to like speak to this girl, like send her a message just to ask her out. And I talked about like doing no fab for like 14 days, and I was so mustered up, and I finally had the balls to like message her. It went horribly wrong. I sent a whole paragraph, and
Yeah.
then she said, and like she wasn't responding. So I said, "Hey, why you not?" I basically I got a little bit angry,
Hmm.
and then basically she broke my heart. And then I found Richard Cooper, which he made a video about calling Pulsechain PulseX scam. He's gonna regret it. And yeah, he basically got me into the door. He opened the door for the red pill, and from there I started like going down the rabbit hole, and now I'm here.
Okay, gotcha. He's actually
Yeah.
into Pulse Chain himself. I heard. I know he was talking trash about it at the beginning, Richard Cooper, but he sacrificed for Pulse Chain. I think he said like
You,
maybe.
sh- you sure? Because I think that's his buddy Jay Waller. Like
Oh,
a lot of his
you're
buddy.
right. You're right. Never mind. Jay
Yeah,
Waller. Yeah, that's right.
yeah. And also like his friend like 𝘰𝘳𝘺𝘰𝘮. Like they're all in it, but he's not. So it's kind of
Yeah,
like I don't know.
yeah. It is Jay Waller that you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So, what made you get into Richard Hart? Like, what made you explore about Richard Hart?
Oh
How did you
man,
think about him?
there's no other man like Richard Hart. Like I love his character. I love his old live streams,
Hmm.
calling people like retards and like just
Yeah.
getting in there. Like there's no other man like Richard. Like, and he's the only dude I can get behind, and
Mhm.
he's the only real one. And yeah, he's 100% real, and he's makes great products. X Pulsechain now,
Yeah.
and he's just a heavy hitter. That's what I like to say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I'll say the thing about Richard Hart, the reason why I got into him is because he was very smart. Listening to his live streams, like maybe, damn, it's almost 2 years ago now. I
yeah,
listened to his live streams about 2 years ago. I can tell him because I know a lot about crypto. Not crazy amount, but I know enough to know when someone's bullshitting or not. So I could tell that he was very, very smart with crypto and he knew what he was talking about and it was showing
yeah,
me some new stuff that I didn't understand. And I was like, okay, this is really good. And then when I would looked at his Hex coin at that point, Hex like increased by like maybe 100x at that point. I guess this is like 2020, 2021.
yeah.
And it's about like 1,000x. So I was like, all right, let me start looking into him and doing more stuff. But the problem with him is that he's very, very arrogant. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it's a bad thing. But he's extremely arrogant. So he uses his arrogance.
Well, yeah, I got that kind of vibe from you. I love his arrogance. I love it.
Okay.
Yeah, I fucking love everything about him.
Okay.
Like sometimes he like dresses like a lesbian.
Of course.
Like when he like especially when he shaves off his beard, he looks kind of funny. But I don't know. I just love everything about him, like his arrogance too. Yeah, different people.
Yeah, it's true. It's like different folks, different strokes for different folks like this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so when do you think Pulsechain is coming out?
I think he's timing the market.
Mhm.
So I think the bottom will be like maybe we'll find the bottom somewhere. I think around like January, by most February.
Okay.
There's the other thing like people talk about like he's waiting for the Uniswap v3 code to like be open source.
Mhm.
I think that's kind of false because we already have limit orders, but there's some other things about Uniswap. But yeah, I think he's just timing the bottom. So I think Pulsechain will come out around like January by most. But I said in my previous videos, imagine how if it's not by the end of February, I'm gonna start getting a little bit mad. It's
Yeah.
like, what are we waiting for? So yeah, I think he's just timing the bottom. That's the narrative that I'm right now using to make myself feel better. Like he's timing the bottom, which I'm supportive. So yeah, I'm waiting until January, and if he doesn't launch until January, I'm gonna start getting a little bit pissy. But yeah,
Yeah, personally, I think that he's also timing the bottom. I know he said 100 times that he's not timing the bottom, but that's
yeah.
he's definitely
He
timing.
just because if he says that, like people are gonna start selling hex down, and he doesn't want
Exactly.
that. Like, yeah, he doesn't want to cause that.
Yeah,
It's just
there's
not
no
smart
way,
for him.
there's no way he's not timing the bottom because he said
Yeah,
that he was in May of 2000. Yeah, May of this year.
yeah,
Oh, yeah, we're coming out in 2 weeks. So you would never say that you're going to come out with something in 2 weeks if you weren't
yeah,
ready, right? And he found a few
because
bugs. That's fine. I'm a software developer myself, so if you find a
oh
few
shit,
bugs, it takes about like maybe a month, 2 months if you're trash
yeah.
developer.
Plus he's forking the code.
The code is already good, right?
Yeah, there's
He's
nothing to
Ethereum
fix.
2.0.
Yeah,
Oh, I know forking Ethereum 2.0, it takes like he has like what 12 developers. So I know it takes like
yeah.
maybe a month or two.
And you
Uh
just have to change some parameters about it. And he doesn't
yeah,
even have to change anything about it, really.
really it doesn't take that long. I know for a fact that it doesn't
Yeah.
take. So he's definitely
Like,
waiting for the bottom.
yeah, he announced the top at like 65K, and like then like a couple of weeks later, he started like saying, "Oh, Porsche coming out," because he called the top,
Yeah.
so he thinks the bear market doesn't start coming,
Yeah.
and then it went down to 30K and went back up and did a new all time high, and
Yeah.
he just keep saying 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 months,
Yeah.
2 months. Yeah, now we're getting into this bear market, I believe, like the bottom at least around January. So yeah, I think we'll launch around January.
So I don't think the problem is I think he's waiting for 11K. I personally don't think he's gonna ever reach 11K. I don't think so. I think it's
I
gonna be
think
like 14,000. Like look at all this BlockFi stuff and all the stuff with Bankman-Fried and everything. And it messed up the market, right? But it messed it up to like what 15,500. I thought it was gonna go straight down to like 13,000, but there's not that much Bitcoin to sell. I think that's the real problem. So all the people that want
uh,
to sell Bitcoin has already sold Bitcoin. So it's like it's not that much lower that you can go because there's no Bitcoin to sell. So anyway, that's just my personal opinion. I think the worst it will get is like 14,000.
I think we're going down to like 11K at least.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Difference
Well, I
in
mean, I think we have like 3 more months to like go down
mhm,
because like Bitcoin went down like 84% every time it had a correction in 1 year. Like the
mhm.
first one was 364 days, the bear market. The first one was 411 days. The second was 364 days. They both went down to like 84%. So maybe we'll see like 83%, 84%. I
Mm.
think we'll get down to like 12K, 11K. I
The
have
reason why-
my I have my take profits at like 12K for my little short that I'm doing.
yeah, the reason why I say that is because it's been about 360 days, 365 days
Yeah.
since the all-time high. So I
Yeah.
feel like this is as bad as it's gonna get. That's number one. And number two, I think he's just waiting for it to hit 11K. Like, let's say it never hits 11K. Let's just say hypothetically that I'm right. Does
He's
that
waiting
mean that
for
he's
like
not gonna release the coin?
I think he's waiting for like some bottom formation because we always have like sideways action.
Mhm,
So he's waiting for that time to run like a little bit like we form like a bottom.
mhm.
So that may be like 13K. If we stay at like 14K, 13K for like a month, then that was the bottom. There's really no more capitulation after that, I think. Like we already had it. I think we're slowly grinding down
Yeah.
to 11K. And where was it going? This I forgot where I was going.
Because I was even looking at like even it bounced back after FTX collapsed and BlockFi has problems, and there's rumblings about Coinbase might have I mean, sorry, not Coinbase, Crypto.com might have some
Okay.
problems. Yeah. So even with all three of those problems that happened at the same time, the worst case scenario was 15,500. I'm like, if the world is crashing and it only goes to 15,500, I can't see it going less than 14,000. But maybe that's just me though. I don't know. All
I
right.
mean, we're kind of like in a worse situation, like high inflation rate, the bad kind, and high interest rates. So it should be worse because
Right.
past bear markets, we were in a secular bull run
Mhm.
and there were low interest rates, like zero interest rates.
Yeah.
And it went down 84%. So now we're in a worser time.
Mhm.
So, but I don't feel this time is different. I think it's going to do the same shit like it did, close to it. So, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. So what do you think of liquid loans?
Oh, I love liquid loans. Like liquidity, they did the right job.
Yeah.
The only I thought of this about this. So imagine if Pulsechain launched like May,
Mhm.
because I think liquid loans is still not finished. So if it launched May like Pulsechain, we still wouldn't have liquid loans. So I was kind of like worried about that a little bit, but I think they're like finishing up on liquid loans. They're just like improving it, like the website.
They're not done at all right now. Like even today.
Uh, no, I think it's working. Like the testnet is already out. I think they're just adding a little bit of improvements. So yeah, it just like before, I just had this like little like thought in my head, oh, what if Pulsechain launched like May when it was announced,
Mhm.
uh, and Liquid Loans was still out, but now we're still waiting. So yeah, I think Liquid Loans will still launch like a month after Pulsechain,
Yeah,
and I think it's going to do very great.
that's what
Yeah,
they said. They said they're always going
yeah,
to wait like a month or two after Pulsechain launches.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
But I love it. I love Liquid Loans.
okay.
Liquidity just improved my confidence so much. Even though like people talk about like they FUD about like, oh, look, I don't know this. I saw like a Twitter post by some guy, a Mexican, and he said, "Why are you forking this project that like has a bad price chart?"
Mhm.
And because like Liquidity like it did poorly, so that's like the kind of and that, I had that concern too about like, oh, Liquidity is doing, and that's like the loan token of our version, and like it did horrible.
Mhm.
But I believe because it launched literally near the top of the bull market,
Mhm.
and had the VCs sold it down, I think Liquidity is going to do very well, and we're launching at the bottom
Yeah.
of the bear market with our pulse chain alongside. I think it's going to do very great. And also the God whale sacrifice for it and gives confidence to the people. And also we have like 10,000 people on Telegram for liquid loans. And we're like a close knit community.
Mhm.
And we teach each other to like, oh, don't sell your pulse and
Mhm.
like, take a loan. That's what I'm going to be doing like for this bull run. If I ever want to take profits, my mindset is like, hey, if I want to, buy something, I need enough pulse chain to take a loan for that thing to build my wealth up.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw God will do sacrifice a lot. How much did he sacrifice? Do you know?
$5 million.
5 million.
Yeah,
So that's a lot.
good amount.
If I could ask, how much did you invest into Pulsechain and
I
and
Yeah, I made a video about this.
X?
I got like 4K. So I sacrificed to my dad,
Hmm.
but my money I sacrificed 4K into PulseX, 8.5K, and this is American, into
Hmm.
liquid loans. And then I sacrificed recently for up token like 3 grand. I borrowed 3 grand from my dad.
Which token?
Up token, up token.
What's that?
Up token is so it's made by you heard of the Honda strategy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's made by the guy. I don't know his name, but it's Haunted. I don't know his real name.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he's the founder of the Honda strategy. He basically he ran a sacrifice, like and he's like the benevolent whale. So
Mm-hmm.
basically, we sacrificed to get up token, and people who sacrifice for up token, we're gonna get up tokens, and the beloved wallet, whoever controls that sacrifice address, is gonna use a strategy like a USDL strategy, kind of like a Honda strategy, to
Mm-hmm.
basically use liquid loans to like it'll do the Honda strategy basically, and use the part of the loans to buy and burn up token, which is deflationary, 21 million coins, immutable, no admin keys. So basically, I just think like Haunted wanted to do this like little game for himself,
Mm-hmm.
and he said, "Oh, I can make a coin that can pump hard." I made a video about it, but
Okay.
basically, the up token is a deflationary coin that there's a beloved wallet that will maybe use loans as polishing goes up to do the Honda strategy, and
Mm-hmm.
then use part of those loans to buy up the up token and burn it forever.
Okay, so it's almost like a deflationary token. Like it
Yeah,
was.
it's a very boring token. The only risk to the up token is the whale doing the buy and burns, because that's like the value proposition is there's this whale, and that's kind of like it's kind of like that's was the risk of it. Who
Mm-hmm.
people who sacrifice, because how do you know if like Haunted, supposedly the guy who like ran the sacrifice, is gonna rug the project? I think he's not gonna rug, but I mean, since we already the sacrifice is already done, you can like see the up token if it's gonna be doing the up buy and burns, and if you want, you can buy it because the math on there, like because up token will have a smaller liquidity pool,
Mm-hmm.
uh, it'll pump crazy. Like there's math on it. Like if no one buys and sells, like there's a lot of not solutions. There's a lot of basically the model is like if nobody sold and bought the up token, if polishing did like 100x, up token would do like a 700x. But of course, people will like sell it down and like because of the liquidity pool and how much buy and burn.
Why? Because there's I guess 7 times less up token than in Pulsechain, or why is
Yeah,
it?
there's less. It's gonna be a small liquidity pool than Pulsechain,
Mm-hmm.
and the buy and burns will cause it. There's a very good video on the Telegram,
Mm-hmm.
like a very dedicated video. Like I don't know much. I'm like I didn't spend a lot of time thinking about it. All I know is it's gonna. I'm very uber bullish on it.
Did you hear about the Compassion Cartel? I think that's what it's called.
Compassion? No.
Yeah.
Is it like a group or someone?
It's a group that's based in. They want to take all their gains and then donate it to charity. They want to take all their Pulsechain gains and donate it to charity. I know that Haunted is part of that too.
Oh, he is.
All right, so we only have 10 minutes left. I didn't pay for the real. I didn't pay for real Zoom.
Oh. Oh
Oops,
shit! Yeah, I see that.
I didn't know that was the thing. All right, so I kind of asked you this about the self-improvement with men and stuff like that. What do you think about
Andrew Tate.
Andrew Tate? Yeah, you already know.
uh,
What do you think about Andrew Tate and Jay Waller? You already talked about Jay Waller a little bit. What do you think about those guys?
like I like everything Andrew Tate says. The only thing I like he converted to like Islam and stuff like recently. The thing is, I like Andrew Tate, but I think I get annoyed a little bit by him sometimes. Like when he like says top G, like he like puts his persona on, so I get kind of annoyed from that. But it's also like some. There's only like one thing. Bad thing is like I think he like he talks about like converting to Islam, saying bad hedonism, like don't
Mhm.
like you don't need like cars, like spend too much time with women, like pussy's too
Mhm.
overrated or something. And at the same time, he like disregards those rules and he still drinks.
Mhm.
Like Tristan Tate is like a fucking alcoholic. Like
Is
they
that
love to
true?
drink. No, no, well, they love to like they when they drink, they drink,
Yeah.
and that's the only bad thing. Like
Mhm.
they just fucking like I just don't like how like oh like people like saying oh my god look Andrew Tate is like the Muslims and all the Muslim people like oh yes, but he's like kind of like faking it kind of. So
Yeah.
that's the only bad part. That I don't know, but everything else is good. Like that's I think of them as like he's just like he doesn't say anything new.
Hmm.
He's just he people like find him like he's kind of like the gateway drug for the most people to
Yeah.
get into self improvement. But the one thing that man should be is like you should not place Andrew Tate above yourself. Like you should not view him as a god. Like
Yeah.
you don't want to be a fanboy. If you want to become like a superior man, you have to like be at the very top of yourself.
I agree.
Yeah.
I believe like let's say I believe in like 80% of what Andrew Tate says.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, yeah, you shouldn't view him as a god because he's a human being just like all of us. But you need to be able to take all the good things that he says, improve it into your life, and then
Yeah.
disregard
That's what I
the
talk
that you don't.
that's the idea of the superior man. Like that's my little like
Yeah,
red pill shtick. Like just like take all the good from people that you
take all the good from him.
like all the good programming, and just put it in yourself, and just
Yeah.
keep all the bad. Like for example, I don't drink,
Mhm.
and I don't like drinking. I don't smoke. Cars. I'm not really a car guy. I will get a Lambo. That's what I talk about. Purple Lambo. But yeah, I'm not like he goes to nightclubs. I don't like nightclubs. Doesn't make
Okay.
me better, but it's like I just don't like that. So yeah.
Me for him, yeah, I like most of what he says, but stuff like, oh, your girlfriend can't go on girls trips or they can't go to the club. I'm like, I don't want to be around my girl 24/7. It's gonna make me go crazy. So let her have
I
her.
kind of disagree with you that
Okay, that's
like
fine.
yeah.
So we we have
Like
differences because it's
we
like,
only have 6 minutes. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I know, right?
They know this. Yeah.
Um, what do you think about censorship and also when it comes to the red pill space, especially now that you're on YouTube? What do you think about YouTube censorship and red pill?
Well,
What
same
comes?
as everyone. It just sucks.
Yeah.
The thing. I don't know. I don't really care. Really.
Mhm.
Like I don't know. I really don't care. My whole thing is just get rich as shit. It doesn't matter. Like oh censorship. I just don't care about it really that much. It sucks,
Yeah.
but like I'm not. I don't want to fight that fight. I don't really care about it. My whole thing is just like right now. All I'm just focusing on is just providing value. Like I have my little crypto course basically because I have like a lot of TikTok noobs.
Hmm.
How do I get into Pulsechain, PulseX? And I made a course to basically do tell them step by step my plan.
Same here too.
Eh,
Of course, for the
yeah,
exact reason because people
yeah,
do this to me over and over and over.
yeah. So
Addicted.
yeah, I just my whole plan right now is just make money, put it all into the Pulsechain ecosystem, the four coins, Pulsechain, Pulse6, Loan Token, Up Token, and maybe Pulsepot too,
Mhm.
and just make enough money. Like I all I need, like with the amount of money I have invested, like a 25x, 50x to get my one win, to get my financial freedom.
Yeah.
And then like if I can turn that because in total I have like 15 grand, 15.5 grand in the ecosystem. If I can turn like 15 grand into like 250k, 500k, and I can just repeat that process of just reinvesting it, I'm Gucci and
You
just live
sac-
life.
you sacrifice 15 grand into different chains. I mean,
Yeah,
different
so
culture.
yeah, 4k into PulseX, 8.5k into liquid loans,
Mhm.
and 3k into Up Token.
All right, I think you'll be fine actually, because I
Oh yeah,
did.
bro,
I don't
I'm
know.
chilling.
I feel like I'm afraid to say this, but I don't care. I invested 10K into Pulsechain. Like I was in there real.
Uh,
I
yeah, you
invested
good?
in Pulsechain, and then I put like 5K into PulseX.
Oh,
So
bro, you're chilling.
yeah, so I'm not gonna invest any more in anything else. I'm gonna wait for the coins to actually come out and then yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. All right. Final question. How much money do you think you'll have in 5 years? Conservatively, not
Well, I talk about
like worst case scenario. Like I mean, I don't want to say worst case scenario, but like let's be a humble envision. Humbly, what do you think you're gonna make in 5 years?
I talk about a 3 year plan because I talk about in that course like a 3 year plan, kind of like timing the markets. But basically, by the end of the 3 years, I think I'll be worth like minimum $1 million.
Hmm.
Like that means like what if I get 100x on my money? That's like in total my investments, and that's only my investments right now. I'll be putting more money in. I
Yeah.
think it guaranteed $1 million if Mr. Richie doesn't rug Pulsechain.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if he doesn't rug, I think in like 3, 4 years, humbly, I think I'll be worth like 5 million, $5 to $10 million. I can't, as long as I
Well, if you're gonna be putting more money in and like you're gonna be reinvesting
exactly,
the coin, yeah, like
exactly. I'm not gonna
that's just
stop. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep
yeah,
investing. Every single paycheck, I'm gonna pay more and more. And if I
yeah,
do that, I just can't see it being less than 5 million. I really can't. Because I
yeah.
see
It should do very great.
yeah, people that did Hex, they invested way less than 15,000 and they're millionaires. So
Yeah,
I feel like I'm the same way.
we're chilling. We're chilling.
Yeah. All right. It was great meeting you.
You too, Benito.
Yeah. Yeah, give them your information so everyone can follow you.
Yeah, you can search up my YouTube, 𝘰𝘰𝘯𝘦. That's my Zoom name, 𝘰𝘰𝘯 Rusu RUSSU, and that's my YouTube channel. And you can find everything else about me there. Have my course if you want it. 50-day money back guaranteed if you don't enjoy it.
Mhm.
And yeah, I think we should talk again. I really enjoyed this,
Mhm.
Benito. Yeah. So yeah, this stupid Zoom meeting,
I
60 minute.
know.
Yeah.
I'll upgrade it. I think it's like $10 a month or something. Ridiculous. But yeah, I'll upgrade it next time. Yeah, let's definitely
Yeah.
do this.
Yeah. I really enjoyed this.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Good meeting
So yeah, subscribe to Benito.
you.